everyone, this is Sarah Black with Hardcore Vigilante Studios, and today I'm going to be talking about how I designed my original character, Sapphire. Sapphire is the protagonist for the comic I'm currently working on, and as of lately, her character design has transformed immensely. So, as you guys may know, during the month of December, there's a little thing called Vlogmas on YouTube, and I decided this month I was going to participate in it, mainly because I wanted to participate in Inktober, and then I wanted to participate in November, but I'm a senior now in college, and homework workload was just kind of piling up, so I wasn't able to participate in either of those other two art challenges. So I wanted to do something this month, now that finals are coming to an end, to kind of make up for missing both of those challenges that I really wanted to participate in. I won't be posting every single day because I do not believe in posting stuff on social media on weekends. So if you follow me on Instagram, you already know that I don't post my artwork on the weekends. I just enjoy my life, go out, hang out with friends, have fun. I'm going to try and complete what I attempted in October and in November, as a way to use the challenges to force myself to develop my comic book story, so that way I could just hurry up and get the script out of the way while still working on character designs, background designs, and I guess, well, in this one, because it's like cyberpunk, mechanical designs as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. One of the things about Sapphire that I really enjoy is her fashion sense. She's a very punk type of character, and one thing that I wanted to stand out about her would be her jacket selection and her boot selection, and really just make that one of those really enjoyable aspects of the story. So I've spent a lot of time trying to come up with jackets that sort of portray her personality, her dark sense of humor, and also a little bit of irony. Sapphire is Ukrainian. She's from Chernobyl, which does play a large part in the story because the right side of her body is paralyzed because of a birth defect, so she wears an exoskeleton on her arm and on her leg, so that way she can move around, and this is set at least 100 years into the future, so yes, things like that exist. So for one of her jackets, she has sort of a callback to her homeland, and I couldn't really decide what I wanted to do, but I wanted something that would explain sort of the events that took place leading us up till the present time as when the story takes place. And this jacket has like a little Easter egg as to what happens. I wanted to use the radioactivity sign, but it didn't really look that cool. It kind of reminded me of Rick and Morty or something like that. It wasn't very serious to me, so I decided I was going to use this biohazard sign, also to emphasize the consequences that took place because of the incidents that happened, which I will not get into for this video. Maybe I'll get into it later. I don't know. I kind of have to work on the story more and figure out what are spoilers and what I can share on the internet that remembers everything. So whenever I'm designing a character, I try to force myself to draw at least 3 thumbnails, and this is mainly when I think that I'm happy with a design. So when I'm unsure of a design, I will sketch it out a million times. I'll sketch it out as many times as is possible, and if I ever do like a behind the scenes video and you see how many iterations that Sapphire went through, you'll understand I go through a lot of character design sketches. I change things up, but when I think that I'm really happy with a design, I will force myself to draw it out in 3 different ways. And mainly it's because I feel like whenever I am happy with a design, I'm like, okay, maybe I think one way looks pretty cool, and I'm like, this second way will also look alright. But then I force myself to come up with a 3rd way, because after 2, I'm kind of like, I'm good, you know, I don't really want to think of anything else. But if you force yourself to create that 3rd design, then you force yourself to draw something that you weren't actually thinking of, so it's kind of that you're required to do. Sometimes it'll come out looking pretty garbage and you'll still end up liking your best design, but sometimes that 3rd design that you force yourself to do turns out to be your best design. That was the case with this drawing. The third one was the one I created last. I had originally wanted to just stick with the second design where she's got a hoodie and it's like a leather bomber jacket, but I forced myself to draw 2 other designs, and the third one was the one I ended up liking the most, and the people who commented on Instagram ended up liking the third one the most. Funny story, because Chernobyl is in Ukraine, and so I found a street sign that had Chernobyl in Ukraine, and so I copied that down. But then I looked up made in, but in Russian, and it never really occurred to me those are two different languages, even though they look similar, because obviously I don't speak either of them. And so when I posted it on Instagram, a couple of people who did speak Russian kind of pointed out what I'd done, and then I was like, oh snap. And then a lot of people who didn't speak Russian they weren't saying that they were bothered by the one in Russian, but I think if I hadn't put up that third design where it was in English, they wouldn't have understand what it meant, so the joke would have kind of been lost on them. And so I feel like that was some vital character development that was going to be left out, because I was trying to use this jacket as a sort of character development for Sapphire and her dark sense of humor. It doesn't work if you don't get the humor. So that's the final one that I decided to go with, thanks to the help of everyone who voted on Instagram. So that's it for today, and I will try very hard to get another one out tomorrow, but I do also have finals, so probably most likely going to be on Wednesday. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you liked it, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.